All right. So I want to talk today, kind of about where else can you go, but I want to look at what we're doing as building a business. I want to kind of cast a vision for what ownership looks like here. And in order to kick that off, I'm pulling up my screen here and I'm going to bring out Robert Kiyosaki's um, four quadrants. What are these quadrants called? Someone help me out. I'm having a brain fart on it. Someone in the, yeah, cash flow. There we go. All right. So you've got the E quadrant, the employee top left, and it's going to follow it. You're going to follow a trajectory this way. So E employee down to S self-employed. These are all both on the left-hand side. And there's a big gulf between the left hand and the right hand side. The right hand side, you're going to start at the top as a business owner and then down to I as investor. All right. So E to S, S to B, B to I. Now I'm going to walk through each of these. So in the employee quadrant, this is most people you know. This was a lot of us before we came here. You are an employee. You have a job. You trade time for money. You have no leverage, virtually no way of scaling. The only opportunity to scale is to work more hours. This is the E quadrant. Now, a lot of people in the E quadrant, they don't like their jobs and they don't like their bosses and they think they can do it better anyway. So they decide that they're going to start their own business. All right, they're going to open their own business. They're going to start doing their own thing. Now, how do you do your own thing? Well, it takes a business plan and it takes capital. And so they're either going to take a loan or they're going to bootstrap it or they're going to start it on the side. And they're going to work their main job till they can work this thing until it kind of builds. And eventually they move themselves from E to S, where they are now self-employed. So instead of having a job, they own a job. And this is where we often see owner operators. These are the people that own the business, but they are working in the business. This is the plumber that owns the plumbing shop, but he's still the guy making the house calls. He might have a couple employees, but this business very, very much depends on him showing up. He is the owner operator. If he does not show up, nothing moves, nothing works. So he's still trading time for money. He still doesn't have leverage. He can hire some employees, but everything falls on him. Now, the dream of 99%, if not all of the people in the S quadrant, is to get to the B quadrant. Up in the B quadrant, you are now, well, let's start to stay over here. The E and the S, I told you there's a gulf between the left and right. The E and the S are 90% of the population with 10% of the money. 90% of the population lives in the E or S quadrants. It's not hard to go from E to S. People live there. Now, the dream of the S is to go over to the B quadrant. In the B quadrant, you own a system. The system works for you. People equal money. You have leverage in the B quadrant. In the B quadrant, you're operating truly as the CEO, the visionary, the executive, while you've got a management team and you've got people and systems that are working for you and scaling for you. You make your money in the B quadrant, and making your money in the B quadrant allows you to take that money and then invest, moving you to the I quadrant where you own investments. Your money makes money and you have ultimate leverage. All right, you follow that so far. Now, I want to talk about where you can go. As far as business looks, moving from E to S is easy. There are 1,000,001 business ideas that will take you from employee to self-employed. 1,000,001. Literally, you could come up with a business idea tomorrow. Find one that doesn't require a ton of overhead to get started and get started. I'm not saying building it out is going to be easy, but starting it is not hard. I'm not saying that scaling it and being in business 5 years from now with that idea is going to be easy, but I'm going to tell you starting it's not hard. Moving from E to S is easy, but you're still on the left-hand side of that thing. You're still trading your time for money. Every single one of the businesses that you could possibly start requires financial capital and creative energy. Read creative energy as time investment. Few people can ever fully leave E and go full-time in S. How many of y'all feel that? Most people require being an employee to have some stable income, while their side gig or their hobby that they've got dreams for, they try to work, but they can't ever build enough capital or give it enough time to fully launch it. Most self-employed owner operators never develop a system that allows them to leave that job, because while it's easy to move from E to S, it is almost impossible to go from S to B. Every self-employed person would love the idea of getting to the B quadrant, but they never are able to develop a system that allows them to leave that job. Taking yourself out of the field in any industry requires having good people that are paid well and know how to grow and not just maintain your business. Maintaining a business is atrophy. Maintenance is always falling down. You need to be able to grow it, even to maintain it. So think you own a restaurant, great, you own a restaurant. But if you can't find good people that can run, operate, and grow that restaurant, you're never getting out of that restaurant. No matter what business you want to own, if you can't find good people that can run that, build that system, you can't scale it, you can't leave. Moving from the S to the B is so hard. Most people who even attempt to move from S to B spend a decade and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars learning what not to do and never cracking the code on what to actually do. That's the reality of most people in business. Moving from B to I, once you're in the B quadrant, you've got a system working for you. It's nothing more than time scaled. It's nothing more than making that money over a period of time and then investing it. How many put a 1 in the comments if you've heard the phrase that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income? I'm going to tell you something about those 7 sources. Only one of them ever required their creative energy. Only one of them. Everyone I know that has money built their money in one industry, doing one thing, getting very good, moving to the B quadrant, and then leveraging their capital, their money, to go passively make money. I come from the MLM world, and I can't tell you how many of the MLM people I see leveraging the average millionaire has 7 sources of income and then marketing it as if you should have 7 side hustles. That is dumb. Don't have 7 side hustles. Nobody makes money spreading themselves thin among multiple things. People make money giving the best of themselves to one thing that it can grow, it can scale, momentum's on their size, it can capitalize, move them to the B quadrant, and then from the B quadrant, you invest and you make the passive income in multiple sources from your investments with your money working for you, not your time spread thin among multiple things. Only one thing ever got their creative energy. Now, we're going to talk about what that looks like within symmetry. Okay? So moving from E to S is about mastering production. Get good at production. Get good at converting leads to business. Now, you're still going to be trading time for money, but you're going to be doing it at a scalable level where you are truly paid the value you add, instead of no matter how good you get at your W-2 job, you're paid what you're paid. The better you get at this, the more money you make. That's moving from E to S. Now you're still over on the left-hand side producing. You can scale it. You can build it. You can make a lot of money there. There are a lot of people, even outside of this industry, in the S quadrant, making a lot of money. They just don't have time freedom for that money. So you can come here and you can move to the S quadrant and you can make a lot of money. You'll still be trading time for money, but at least it's scalable. Now, moving from S to B, remember, that is almost impossible, and people spend decades plus trying to do it and learning a lot what not to do. Here, we just have a roadmap. It is the one place you can go where the path from S to B is just laid out for you. Get good at recruiting. Get good at onboarding. Get good at casting a vision. Let the symmetry system train, and you've got a natural pathway to agency owner and beyond. You've got a natural pathway with the systems already there that you just have to go leverage. It's as simple as that. There's a pathway here. You just have to follow the path. I've never seen anything like that. And then moving from B to I is about raising leaders. The money you're going to make here is going to allow you to invest in any number of things that will create true passive income, allowing your money to work for you. This business is as big as you want it to be. Do you want to own a job? Do you want to own a business? Or do you want to own an enterprise? Let me know in the comments. What do you want to own here? That a lot of people want big things. Let me show you what that looks like. See, I see every AO under me as a regional branch location of my life insurance business, and every 130 under me as a major company headquarters. What did that look like? I came into Symmetry in January of 22. I worked as an agent in Jamie's agency, learning production, learning the phones, learning the scripts, learning the process, embracing the culture. I came in as an agent in someone else's agency, in my case, Jamie's agency. As I brought in people, I started recruiting. I started to learn leadership while I was producing. I became a team in Jamie's agency. You had the Susie Nee Neighbor agency, and then Team Larsen, a team in Jamie's agency. I grew that team until I broke out my own agency. Six writing agents, 30,000 in issued premium, 3 months in a row. I broke out my own agency. This was my business that I owned. The Larsen Life Group. I own an agency. I got a business. It's a tiny little business. It's a tiny little thing, but I got it and it's mine. And I can grow this thing. See, then Kelly Bush broke out her agency under me, and now I had 2 locations to this business. And then Emily Bartz broke out her agency. I had 3 locations in my life insurance business. Then Christina Watts broke out her agency. I had 4 locations. Then Kelly Bush hit 130. I had a major headquarters with 3 regional branches. Then I hit 130. I had 2 major headquarters with 2 regional branches. Then Jill and Joe broke out their agency. I had 2 major headquarters, 3 regional branches. Amber broke out her agency. I had 2 major headquarters, 4 regional branches. Anna Safavi broke out her agency. I had 2 major headquarters with 5 regional branches. And last month, Tara Owens broke out her agency. I had 2 major headquarters with 6 regional branches. And we're going to do about $8 million in sales this year. Guys, put little old me and my life insurance enterprise up against anyone who owns a handful of pizza places or car washes or dental offices or CrossFit gyms. You want to build a business? It's here to build. You want to build an enterprise? It's here to build. When you think, oh, I wish I had, man, I want to own multiple locations of something good, go do it. The path is literally here for you to go build whatever it is you want to build. Are there still challenges in my business? Yes. Are there still growing pains? Yes. Are some locations outperforming others? Yes. Are we still looking for good people? Yes. That doesn't change. That is business. That is every business out there that owns locations, that's building things. This is just business. But where else can you go? Where the roadmap from entry-level position to the enterprising owner is laid out, mentored, encouraged, and trained. Tell me that. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to plant your flag? Where the pathway from your first day in the door on the phones all the way to enterprising owner is not just there for you as a possibility. It's laid out, it's mentored, it's encouraged, and it's trained. Most places you'll never even have that opportunity. In others, where it exists as a possibility, you're going to have people stepping on you, competing with you, clamoring over you, pushing you down, certainly not helping you get there. Here, you walk in the door day one, and your pathway, everyone here wrote enterprise, enterprise, enterprise. You're in a position where that pathway is laid out, mentored, encouraged, and trained. What do you want to do here? Because whatever that is, it's there for you. It's there for you.
Three.
And I'll tell you, I was talking to Tamara Sherry the other day, and we were talking about the culture of symmetry and the support and everything else. And I said, I need to be really clear. There are pros and cons about everything. Everything in the world has pros and cons. You're wise when you can recognize both. And so she's there talking about all the pros of our culture and our mentorship and how amazing it is. I'm like, all right, what are the cons? What are the cons to having that level of support and that level of mentorship? You want to know what the cons are? You don't have excuses anymore. See, a lot of people love to own their excuses. They think what they're lacking is mentorship and support. That's what they think they're lacking. If only I had mentorship and support. No, you don't want mentorship and support because what you want are excuses. You want to blame your lack of mentorship and support for not succeeding more than you actually want mentorship and support, because you want to cling tighter to the lack and the excuse than you want to cling to the possibility. Don't wish for your excuses to disappear, because the minute your excuses disappear, responsibility gets saddled on your shoulders. And I think there are a lot of us in this room right now that really, really like our excuses a lot more than we want them removed. So yes, is the culture great? It is. Is the mentorship great? Is the pathway laid out? All those things are true. But be warned, if you embrace that, you don't have excuses anymore. People dumber and lazier than you have done it. I don't come gently into this group. You guys put your hand up and asked for this. People dumber and lazier than you have done it. So the question is not, does this work? The question is, are you going to finally work for it harder than you're going to work to cling to your excuses? That's your question on a Monday morning. Welcome to work.